Hello, my name is Mark Gordon, and I produce and host Center Stage. It's a weekly program where we talk with some of the most innovative and creative minds working in film today. Through in-depth interviews, we get an inside look at the artist and their art form. Here's a sample of what you can expect when you tune in to Center Stage with Mark Gordon.
Superman overshadowed his entire life. In fact, one of the poignant things was, as much as he wanted to escape from being thought of as Superman, when he died, every headline referred to the death of Superman. They never said the death of George Reeves.
Based on the true story of Hollywood's most notorious unsolved mystery.
I see the pieces, how they should fit, how I want them to fit.
Hollywoodland.
Why were you such a threat? Because in the film, it says that you were on a list, the FBI had, like 1,700 pages?
17,000 pages.
17,000 pages.
And this was between 1969 and 1981.
You know, there was a great amount of fear at the time amongst white South Africans about what was going to happen, about their future. They called the ANC saboteurs or operatives terrorists, as did Margaret Thatcher call Nelson Mandela a terrorist.
Why is it that the church protected this man?
Well, the experts that I interviewed and in the research that I did, the most important thing in the church is to protect the image of the church. And letting something like this out would be so detrimental to everybody. So it was part of their power, was to just keep it all inside and be God to their parishioners.
I should have been removed and attended to, and he should also then have followed up by attending to the people that I harmed.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Mark Isham. He is the composer to the music. This is one of his films. He's written over 98 movie scores, and his current one is Crash.
Instead of writing a tune and then hiring a singer and picking the right singer at that point after you've written the tune, what I did was I went out the way Moby might, or the way that some more remix artist might, and go out and find a performance that actually says what I know that this movie has to say.
It's very much a marriage of, the manufactured boy band and the sideshow aesthetic. And then it's about characters who kind of take charge of that and appropriate it and forge something new.
Bay City Rollers meets the Elephant Man. Good description.
Very nice.
Once I began to focus on the characters in the Enron story and to see try to see it from the inside out as a kind of Greek tragedy, which in Enron's case had a lot of comedy in and around it, then I thought, okay, this is something, that would be a pretty rich film.
My first intention when I visited Jim White in Pensacola was actually to develop a feature film script with him, because he was clearly, an imaginative storyteller. But when he started to introduce me to his world, the world that the people in the world that were the locations and the populations of his songs, I realized that they weren't actually from his imagination at all. They were actually from the real world. So in some strange way, he's actually a kind of reportage or a collage artist.
See, when I was a boy, Sears Roebuck catalog, great thick thing, like that, came to everybody's mailbox in the South. I mean, everybody's. First thing that struck us was everybody in the Sears Roebuck catalog was perfect. Wasn't any bald heads. Everybody had all the fingers that was coming to them. Nobody had any opens and running sores on their bodies. But everybody we knew had a finger missing, or one eye put out from a staple glancing off a post. In other words, in our world, everybody was maimed and mutilated, whereas everybody in the Sears Roebuck world was perfect.
We got to Sundance and you realize there were a lot of movies here with movie stars, a lot of movies here with bigger budgets than we had, and those are the movies that people are talking about the first weekend.
Yeah, we were like the underdog at Sundance, but then that can be an advantage because Sundance is specializes in finding underdog movies and championing them.
So, like the first weekend, they couldn't pronounce it. They didn't know what it was. But then we had our first screening the Monday after the first, weekend. And we got a great reaction from people. And then we'd be walking in the street or, on the bus overhearing some little ladies from Salt Lake City talking about the film. Or better yet, there was a waitress in the sushi restaurant there and with a New York accent. And she was like, what movie you guys do? And we said, oh, Quinceañera. And she's like, Quinceañera, that's the movie everyone's talking about. You guys are going to win something. So
she knew how to get a tip.
Until next time, this is Mark Gordon, and I'll see you center stage.